Hello everyone, welcome to William and the Magic Box. Today is the last day of 2022. I hope everyone had a great year, and I hope as well that the next year, just starting now, is going to be the best year of your life. Thanks so much for being part of the show. Thanks so much for watching the show as well. And to celebrate this special occasion, we are going to have a special guest. His name is Rick, and he's from Atlanta in the USA. Happy New Year, everyone. I wish you a very, very happy New Year. I hope you enjoy a lot this new year just starting right now. And I hope you enjoy the interview as well. Hello.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Hello, Rick.
1 second. I'm going to close the door. 1 second. Hi.
Yes, hello. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm very well. Thank you so much for taking the time for the interview today. Thank you.
Oh, I'm so excited.
So tell me, how's your day been so far?
Crazy. Trying to do work and holidays and being away from home and everything. You know, it's always hectic.
So tell me, where are you from, Rick?
So I am from, I was born in Chattanooga, but I'm from a city called Marietta, which is just north of Atlanta,
Okay.
about 10 miles north of Atlanta. So Atlanta's hometown.
I see. That's the place where you're born and raised, or not?
Yes. So that's where I grew up and went to school and all of that. So,
And what do you do?
I've lived all over. You'll find out. So
I see. And what do you do for a living, Rick?
Yep. So I'm a legal consultant. I do consulting for started with corporations and stuff. So I would help general counsels and corporate legal officers, manage their law departments, and more in my recent years and stuff. I do work with musicians and artists, photographers, filmmakers, helping them protect their IP rights. So I love it.
Amazing. So if I want to get my channel, everything organized, everything in the real, let's say, on the real path, you are the one.
That's right. Yeah, my brain has always been a very logistical one. So when I see things, it just always wants to like put them together in different ways and reorganize and make things better. So it's just worked out that my career has been one that allows me to do that too. So,
see, very good. Rick, so before we start our journey, William the Magic Box, would you like to tell me something interesting about yourself?
I don't know. So, I mean, I will tell you, William, it's like, I've been very fortunate in my life. I've had quite a unique story, I would say. I grew up in a family that's like very open, a very like loving family, very like gay friendly family. For most of my life, I call it, I lived in a rainbow bubble until I got to university and really began to kind of hear other people's horror stories. So that's given me, quite a different story than most people. But I've lived in 14 countries now. I know. So I try to tell you, it's like
wow, 14 countries.
I live in Berlin now, and I just moved there in June. So Germany is my 14th country that I've lived in. So,
and
mostly for work. Work has taken me places that I never dreamed I would get to go, and it's exciting and I love it. It's definitely changed who I am as a person, or because every country you go to just has an effect on you, from being the person who can't speak the language to trying to figure out how to get your cable TV turned on in German, and all these other things like that, to just the culture and the experience and stuff is definitely, even this one, every time I think that, okay, my head will be like, 14, do I have one more move in me? And then I'll do it, and then it will change my life. So
Berlin, Germany is the latest country that you are living in. And which one was the first?
Let's see. I lived in, when I was a teenager, I left and went to Belgium. Marietta, the town I grew up in, its sister city is Brussels. And so we had hosted kids in our house. My parents are well known in Marietta. We own part of the square that's there. And so we had hosted kids in the house. And one of the kids and I just became good friends. His name was Philippe. His family was from Paris. The dad was in the EU and the mom taught at the French high school there. So I went off to there, and definitely life altering. To one, be away from home, two, be in a foreign country. I still remember today, being 15 years old and my parents taking me to the airport and getting on a giant 747 Sabina Air in those days and flying from Atlanta to Brussels by myself. And it's a lot to do that no matter what age you do it. I often get sat next to folks on planes who it's their first time flying, and many times I'll even ask to sit next to them just because, to me, I tell people, flying is, I think I've been in planes more than cars my whole life. I don't like to drive. I don't have a car. Most countries, other than this one, it's a luxury. You don't get a car, and so we take the subway. We take the bus. People here think I'm crazy if I even mention I'm going to like walk or take a bus somewhere. They're like, what? So I like sitting next to those folks because to me, flying is like such a, still to this day, even with all the horrors of getting through the airport and stuff, on the plane itself, it's just one of those like great experiences to fly. And when I recently sat next to a lady, she was 67 and she was on her first flight ever in her life. And to me, my brain doesn't even comprehend that. It's like that is a foreign language to me. And, she would get jittery with every like sound and noise and bump. And I was like, oh no, that's this. And oh no, that's this. And I talked her head off for like 2 hours to the point that she forgot she was like nervous about flying. So I love it.
Rick, are you ready to go on a beautiful journey through your memories in life and to share your point of views?
Yes, of course.
Amazing. Welcome to William and the Magic Box. So this is my best friend, okay? Run the fun questions. I'm just gonna play a song now just for us to move a little bit before the first question, okay? Let's do it. Okay, Rick, before we start the game, during the journey, if there is a question that you don't want to talk about for some reason, you don't want to answer, always can change, okay?
Good.
Amazing. First question for you is, do you consider yourself to be a spiritual person, and how?
Oh God, what a question to start with. Yes and no. Probably no in the traditional sense that everybody thinks. Do I believe, in the Bible and in the organized religion? Probably not. To me, I think it was probably more a good crowd control for all those centuries, trying to keep everybody, on the right path and, organize people. It's not as easy as people think. But in the literal sense, no. But do I believe that there's forces out there that I don't understand and things that I can't control and stuff? Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we know that matter is flowing through us every minute that's been around for 10 billion plus years or more. Absolutely. I was married once. I'm a widow. So I like to believe that, I know we have conversations every day, and I know that he like pops up here and there to me. So absolutely, I believe that I always believe that there are things that are beyond me understanding and that are meant for me to figure out. And so, yeah, I want to think that there's something else that's out there. So.
Absolutely. I think being spiritual, it's very personal. It doesn't matter what you believe, if you have this belief that there is a power out there, you know, like you can call God, you can call universe, you can call different names, but it's something that, as you said, is out of our control. We can just feel it. We cannot see it.
Absolutely. I believe for sure.
Cool. Next question, Rick. Let's do it.
I love it.
Next question for you is, if you were to raise a child, what are the most important things would you like them to learn?
A question that hits home so much because, you know, because of the way I was brought up, and the way that I've seen, you know, other children, especially who are gay, being brought up or the life that they led, I can tell you hands down that everything that a parent is everything that a child is going to come out to be. And my parents, you know, more than anything, gave me a safe space that I didn't even realize they were giving me growing up. Sometimes I wish maybe a little more reality of the real world would have been good, but I understand why in many cases they didn't give me all of that. One was to figure things out on my own, which I love. I have an insatiable appetite for knowledge. Two, to protect me because they knew that, you know, I uniquely was going to have people out in the world that were going to be negative and stuff like that. You know, for me, it's trying to recreate that, which is giving some boundaries, but also giving enough space for whatever that child wants to be or can be, to have the room to grow and to learn and to be that. And you know, it's got to be probably the most difficult job in the whole world. It really does. And my best friend has 3 kids, and I see it, and I see him agonize over, you know, decisions and stuff that affect his kids. And so for me, it's really trying to find a balance between, you know, the knowledge and the space that you give them, and then the parameters you give them to, you know, set those kind of guardrails.
Do you have siblings as well, or you are the only child?
I have a younger brother. He's 2 years younger than me, and then I have a niece and a nephew. That he has 2 kids. So
sweet, very good. My best friend as well. He has 2 kids. The first one is my godson. 2 years old. They live in Canada.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, my late husband, he had a nephew as well. He was Jindo to that, and oh my God, those 2 were inseparable. So
oh.
I love it.
Next question, let's do it. Rick, before the next question, tell me what is the most rewarding part of your job? What do you like the most, and what is the most challenging part?
Yeah, well, I tell everybody because I have my own company now, and I've had it for 8 years. And the hardest part is the 3 letters at the end of your name. People, you know, have all these expectations of you, and I tell people, yes, you know, I may have to make some final decisions, but when we're in a room together, you know, you have to treat me just like you would anybody else. You have to be able to say, Rick, that is the craziest thing. No, we're not doing that. You cannot be a yes person. And I cannot stand yes people around me because we always get the wrong answer. So when we are in the heat of projects, when we're in the heat of like creating and being creative for our clients and stuff, I absolutely love that. That's from the first day of my job to the last day I do this job, because to me that's what's important, and all of the other functions that go along with, you know, managing a business. I understand they're important, and I'm happy to do them, but they're not what drive my passion. So it's definitely being in the weeds with everybody, like doing the work. So
great. Next question is, what makes you most uncomfortable about yourself?
Oh my God, William, come on. So many things, and I would say that that's probably an answer that changes year to year. And you know, for so long, most of my life, I'm very fearless. You'll find out. I tell everybody I'm probably the most overly confident person you'll ever meet, and I do it a lot to do with my upbringing and the things that I've been allowed to do. Um, I don't know, for me, I also find there's a relatability, that I have a hard time sometimes relating to folks in the sense of, uh, um, yeah, it's hard to put these into words, Williams. Um, because of my upbringing, because of the things that I've been able to do, because of those just unique circumstances of my life, it's not what most people, I would say it's probably not what 99% of people have experienced. I've never had a gay slur thrown at me my whole life. That is not very normal. And so when I get around people who have those stories and have those experiences stuff, it's hard for me to relate to those things. That's difficult. I'm also very much a Gemini, and it's pretty butterfly, and so it's trying to, for most of my life, I was very impatient with people. I was like, oh, I see the light at the end of the tunnel. Come on, let's go. And I would drag people to it. And, years of therapy and all the other things have taught me that is not, always the best thing. Everybody has their own light at the end of the tunnel. And for me, my mind is just, it's doing my work in my life as well. It's being expeditious, and let's keep going and go on to the next thing. And you have to give people time to come to things in their own way, in their own path and stuff. And that has always been super hard for me. And, my husband passing really was something that it changed me forever, in many ways, in many good ways, which is always hard to say, but it's given me more patience. It slowed me down because I used to move at speed of light. And now I'm more, I think I'm far more endearing. I'm far more patient. I'm far more open to just stopping and listening to other folks and hearing what they have to say than I probably ever was before. So I'm happy about that, but there's still work every day that I do to try to be better at that. So
I think all of us, we are in maintenance every single day. We are working ourselves, and it's going to be a long journey, So I think that's what's fascinating as well, for us to recognize that and know our weakness and not, our strength as well.
I feel like for in many ways, I began that journey 5 years ago, where I leapt through life, with blinders on, and and I don't take back any of that, because it's definitely made me who I am and given me the most incredible experiences. But now, at 5 years, these last 5 years, I've stopped to kind of smell the roses and to get to know folks. I will tell you, at my husband's funeral, there were friends I've had for 20 years that literally probably heard me ask for help for the first time and looked around like, is he joking or not joking? Or there are things about them that I discovered, these were my close friends, that parts of their life that I had never even known. That is not that's not so much a good thing. It's good now because I'm taking time to more involved and learn more and be a part of those things. But I was just, and some of it is living around the world and moving and stuff. You're not around people as much. So, but paying attention, it's something that I am learning to do far more now than I ever did before.
Amazing. Ready for another one?
Yeah, come on.
Let's do it. Next question. Next question for you is, what is the scary thing that happened to you?
Oh my God. So many things. I don't get scared very often. I'm usually one of those that turn into it. Traditionally, I think most people get scared of public speaking or just all these kind of different scenarios that freak them out. I don't have any issues with those. I've jumped right on a stage, 1,000 people in 3 minutes. I have done that before. No problem. The things that scare me, I mean, like there was a time that an engine blew off the side of a plane that I was on, and it's one of those times where you go, all right, Lord, maybe I sit down and take some stock before you get to the ground. Um, and but there's very little that scares me. I would say more than anything, if we're going to be like internal about this, these past 5 years have been the scariest years of my life because I had a vision of 80 and literally had these conversations, and then all of a sudden, in blink of an eye, your whole like world changes, and you have no idea, how to put your next foot forward, and trying to refigure out your life when you thought you had it solved. That was scary. Most undoubtedly, it's still scary every day because I feel like I stick my foot in the mud pretty much on a daily basis, where maybe I did before and I never thought about it, but now I do, and I think about it. But there's very little that like scares me away from investigating. I'm that dummy that will be the one that goes to open the cabinet door for us when something's making the noise, and just to see what it is. And curiosity is going to kill me one day, Wayne.
I think being curious is very charming, I think.
Well, yeah, maybe. Well, if you know you're doing it, maybe. But I think I do it just blindly without even realizing sometimes that I do.
3 questions left for you, Rick. Let's do it.
Lord.
But before the next question, tell me, so far, what do you like the most about living in Berlin?
Oh, so I will tell you, out of everywhere I've lived, this has been the hardest move for me yet. And surprisingly too, for all the time I've spent in Europe in my life, Germany is probably the country I spent the least amount of time in, probably the country I knew the least about. And so getting there, I love it, but at the same time, it has been a challenge because the language, it's not just one you can look and say, oh, I recognize that and stuff. I'm surprised about how much of the services are not in English or any option at all. It's all German. And so if you want your cable, if you want your gas turned on, you want all these things like that, you have to know German or find somebody who does. And they literally told me, one of the people was like, go ask your neighbor and for help. And I was like, my neighbors are from Ukraine. They don't even speak German. So I have discovered they have services there that literally all they do is you bring the things you need to them, and they will call the cable company for you and answer the questions. And so that has been a challenge. But the rest of it kind of kicks in after a while. It's like, it's a new city, get out and discover. It was, it's landlocked. So I'm kind of a water boy. Most places I've lived have been, on the ocean. So that's taking some getting used to as well, because we had a very, very hot summer. And trying to find, some water just to go like get some relief and stuff was a bit of a mess. But it's made me think too. Each time, because I'm sure there will be another opportunity to go. It's this one more than any other has made me think, okay, how many more of these do you have in you? Because if they're as challenging as this one, it's going to be, it's hard. It's harder as you get older to do this, I will say.
All right. Next question for you is, what is one movie you could watch over and over again?
There's so many, because I have a degree in theater and film and everything from Cal State. I've watched like hundreds of movies and stuff. If like, it depends. It depends on what era. If we're talking about old movies, I can watch Citizen Kane. I can watch Mame. I can watch On the Waterfront. I really love old movies over and over. As a kid, my brother and I think we wore out like all the vacation movies like to death. to the point my parents were so sick of them that they don't ever want to see them again. Um, oh, that is such a hard question for me because it's also what I do for a living too. Is working with musicians and filmmakers and things like that. So there are so many that I mean, and it's something is such a pleasure for me to, because I don't get a lot of time away from work and escape. So when I do, it's almost always to music first, and then to a movie or something where I can kind of let go. It's generally something for me. If I'm going to go to a film or something, it's going to be something that's probably completely not based in reality. It's going to be something like completely fantasy or something, so that I can literally let go. My friends hate watching movies with me because I will start picking them apart from a consistency, like sense speak or like from cinematography, or just, it's like I can't help it. It's in my head because it just comes out, and they're like, "Shut up."
That's funny. Two questions left for you, Rick. Let's do it. Next question for you is, tell us about your first kiss and your first love.
Oh, well, I don't know. Okay, Mom, if you're watching, like turn off the TV. Well, my first kiss, it was 1 week before my 14th birthday. I know, it was like, and it was completely like unplanned. It was a neighbor two doors down from us, and she was pretty much like, "Come here, I wanted to show you something I learned." I was like, "Okay," and it could have been, tire swinging or bicycle riding, but it was making out. So she was very good. I always say that girls are the best kissers because they spend a lot of time on lip maintenance and stuff. And my first love,
Yeah.
well, yeah. So my first love, we are actually still friends today.
Wow.
Yeah, my very first boyfriend, Tim, and I, he was 18, I was 19, and we were babies. And I tell everybody, my friends will all laugh at this, but there's a difference between BF and BF, boyfriend and best friend. You want your boyfriend to be your best friend, but you don't always want your best friend to be your boyfriend. And that was very much us. We kind of, we were young too, but we kind of bickered and argued a lot when we were dating. And then when we broke up, we didn't talk to each other for like almost 2 years. And then we bumped into each other and we had lunch, and we've been best friends ever since. And
Wow.
he was the unofficial third son in my family. So he's my mom's unofficial third son. So it's good. And I always, for me, like people I date and things like that, I'm friends with everyone I think I've ever gone out with still to this day. There's something about everyone that come into your life and like you date and interact with that we're there for a reason, and it may have just been something you needed at the moment or whatever it is, but something took you to them. And I try to always like forget about any of the arguments and stuff and just focus on that uh, uh, and I love people and I love all those kind of things. I don't want to be especially now, these past 5 years, I don't want to hang on to any heaviness or arguments or hate or anything like that. So I purposely try to just maintain the friendship. So I'm very happy that, I'm not even going to say it, 20 something years later, we're still able to like be friends, see each other, hang out. Because he'll always be my first.
Oh, and I'm sure now he watched the interview, he's gonna be smiling now. No,
I know, I'm not going to send him the link.
Ready for the last one?
Yeah, guys.
Let's do it. Last question. But before the last question, 2022 just finishing now, and the new year ahead just coming now, starting very soon. If you could define 2022 in one word for you, which one would it be, and why?
Just one word. I would say cataclysmic. How's that word?
Wow,
Um,
these words.
huh?
Tell me about these words.
Yeah, cataclysmic is, it can mean so many things. It's just uh, like earth-shatteringly changing. Probably the most in my whole life. Just from, it's, I'm coming up on my fifth anniversary. I tell everybody, it's like the last 5 years. First of all, I'm going to stop saying, next year can't be worse than this one, because I feel like, God or whoever's up there is just kind of kicking the bottom of the can and seeing just how much more you can take. So that's first. But this year has been like super challenging, super rewarding, super, difficult in every way, because it's the first year out of COVID, that we're still in it, and we still, are feeling the pain of it. But it's the first year we tried to be normal again. There's a picture of me and my best friend at the beach on January 1st of this year, and he's in shorts and a tank top, and I'm in a tuxedo, and it's hilarious to see. But I had that tuxedo. I bought it in January of 2020, because I usually buy some suits and stuff for my job, and it was still hanging in the closet last year with the tags on it. And I remember at the end of last year saying, I'm going to wear that at some point on this trip, because I need to wish 2022 into some kind of normalcy. And so I wore it all day that day, and it was, and um, very much I stepped back from running my business as much as I had been, and to try um, this new avenue of working with artists and stuff, because I was trying to find a way to marry the beginning of my life and the second half of my life together, do something new, and it took me to Germany, and all of these things that are like just these huge changes in my life this year. Um, but huge change comes with huge change, and it has an effect outstream that you don't always know, some good and some bad. So it is definitely caused me to um, rethink who I am. It's my relationships have, in many ways, some have strengthened a lot more than others. Some have gone through hell because of it. So it's taught me that getting back to what I'm hoping 2023 will be, which is a new normal for all of us, something that we can all be out and interact with each other and have a good year together. The road to get there is not smooth at all, and even on a personal level, it has been very, very rocky and stuff like that. I'm very happy. I'm very optimistic for 2023. I see a lot of great things coming from it, but it will be earned, the rewards we get this coming year for sure, because it's cost a lot to get to this point. So,
Okay, last question for you is, do you think your priorities have changed since you were younger?
100%. Like, and I don't know how anybody would answer that question otherwise. I would be suspect if they said no, because maybe if you live in the middle of nowhere and never leave a one stop signs town, yes, you can probably find a way to keep everything the same and not be affected. But life isn't that way. Every day something comes at you, and whether small or big, that change your perspective. I hope that doesn't change ever, because to me that's the end of life. Um, but more so in these past 5 years, at just mountainous levels, it has altered completely. I am not the person I am today that was yesterday, certainly not 5 years ago, and certainly not as a kid. The parts that I think that are the same that I carry forward is just that kind of yearning to travel, that yearning to go and like step foot. As a kid, I was like, I remember getting a globe from my parents, and I remember looking at it and thinking, oh, I'm going to go there and there and there. You just, as a kid, you think those things. But I've lived a life where I've tried to do that and tried to step foot in as many places as possible. That part, it's still there. That engine and heat inside me to go and see is always there. And that desire to just learn. The people who tend to stick around in my life the most are the ones who teach me something. And I absolutely love that. If you can tell me something that I don't know already, to me, that is, you'll get my attention and my fascination. It's what stops me in my tracks for sure. So I don't think those things about me have changed, but everything else absolutely it's different year to year.
Absolutely. Totally agree with you. I think we are changing all the time, and it's good to look forward for adventures and something new. As you said, when I'm the same, when I learn something new, my days it's done. My day, okay, I just earned my day right now. When I just could be anything, could be literally anything, something new that for some reason I'm meant to learn. I literally feel very happy as well.
Yeah, even the smallest thing, like it's still something. I tell people I'm gonna have 2 regrets when I die, and honestly, I will have no regrets. By the way, the first one is that I don't know everything there is to know. That's an impossible task to accomplish, but it drives me every day. And the other is that I won't have stepped foot on every place on this planet, and as we see now, maybe outside this planet. Again, an impossible task to complete, but they're what drive me every day. And all the rest of the things that occur in my life, my friends and my family, are just part of those 2 missions. So.
Rick, so then yet, let's play now the word association game, okay? I'm going to give away some words, and you just tell one word that comes to your mind. Quick thinking, okay?
All right.
So, I hope you are enjoying the interview. Before we do the word association game, don't forget to give a like, don't forget to share this video, and also don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Just click on the button right there. Thank you so much and enjoy the word association game. One word for family.
Challenging.
Money.
Unnecessary.
How about love?
Necessary.
Life.
Amazing.
Sex.
Not use the same word again. Liberating.
Politics.
Nauseating.
Religion.
Unfortunate.
Fear.
Conquerable.
Friendship.
Oxygen.
Desire.
Fire.
Regret.
Debilitating.
Success.
Easy.
One word for wish.
Endless.
One word for happiness.
Hopeful.
One word for Atlanta.
Trouble.
And the last one now, USA, one word.
Childlike.
Let's pretend now I'm going to meet your best friend for a coffee. Okay, I'm going to ask your best friend. Define Rick in one positive word and one negative word only. What your best friend would say.
About me?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Like the positive word would be caring. The negative word would be oblivious.
Interesting. Let's play now, Rick, and the magic box, and you can ask me a question. Okay, you can ask me a question now, Rick.
Okay, so I have been watching a lot of your interviews. Like I have watched a lot, and I love it. So for me, really, the question for you is it's kind of 2-part, but it's I imagine what you started out thinking in interview 1 and what you're starting out thinking now in 750 or whatever is different. And so what do you want people to get out of these programs, and what is next for you? I mean, what is it? Where are you going to go next with this? I have to think that, because you are so personable and you have so much energy and just light, that there's something you want out of this.
By the way, thanks so much for the compliments, and also thanks for watching the show. I think it's just my heart just go like big when when somebody says something like that. It's such a genuine project that came out from such a genuine place, and when I hear that, it just makes my entire year. Right. The thing is about you know this show, it just started out from nowhere. I think I always knew that. I always first of all, I always admire those people who wakes up every single day knowing that they're gonna do what they come to this world for, what they meant to be. And through my life, I admire so much that people, and I was asking myself at the same time as well. I was asking myself, my God, what I came to this world for? What is my thing that I'm gonna, collaborate to the world, something that is gonna make me happy every single day. Saying that, I strongly believe as well that all of us, we still can do different things in life and still be very happy. I think we can find, different paths and still have the best time of our lives. But even though I was asking myself, like, and I could do different things as well, and and goes like, what, I'm happy, and I would be happy different paths. But since I started this show in 2020, when the world went upside down, I can tell you from the bottom of my heart, this show meant to be for me. You have no idea. I go to bed thinking about the magic box. I wake up every single morning, like I'm just like already thinking, my goodness, who am I gonna cross my path with, who I'm going to talk to today, which interview I'm going to edit today, which question is going to come up. It's a therapy for me. Like, what am I going to talk about today? What's going to be? So imagine how exciting it is to wake up every single day knowing that I'm going to have a new experience. I'm going to connect with someone anywhere in the world, and not knowing what's going to happen. So that's the most exciting part of the show. It makes me happy every single day. The second part is what's gonna get this show right. I again, when you do something with love, with passion, it can take you anywhere. I think people, as you mentioned before, when you see someone doing something so natural and out of have this passion, I think the opportunities will come along. If you'd ask me this question, actually, I have so many projects that I want to work hard. I want to implement the magic box. I have different projects that I would like to do it, and I'm working hard every single day to get my channel with a bigger proportion, with more viewers, with more interviews as well. I started doing Portuguese as well now because my first language.
Okay.
So it's a lot. I have a project like I would like to do. Imagine William the Magic Box for kids. Oh my goodness, I'm a child anyway. For me,
Yeah.
connect with children, it's something that I think I would have the best of the joy. Also, I have others as well. Maybe William in the Magic Box after midnight, something more spicy, something more you can talk more open about different things as well, and so on. And I could tell you like hundreds of things that as well I would like to do it. And
I,
William the Magic Box World Tour. Imagine going around the world and meeting all those amazing people who participate in the Magic Box, like getting all together and carry on with a second interview, like one-to-one, and talk about some topics that we didn't have time. For example, I could be with you another 2 hours just talking about your childhood, about
oh, yeah.
your about the country that you lived. Imagine how fascinating it is to hear that. Again, actually, this is a second invitation for you now to come for the second part.
It's so funny, because one of the things you just said is just went right to my heart, and it's what I am into. When my husband passed away 5 years ago, I'm a workaholic. It's all I've ever known. It's all I think I've ever been good at.
Same.
And I said then, it's like I need to go and find something else that I'm good at, and I need to go and find something else to fail at. I don't think I've ever failed. like in that kind of way, especially career-wise. And so it's part of this move for me to Berlin. You know, it's a different aspect of work for me than I've ever had before. You know, and just trying to find, you know, something else. You know, because I don't want that huge life event to come and then just go without it making a huge life change in me. I just think it would be such a disservice and just such a dishonor to him and what I went through to not try other things and get out in the world and do something different. And I love that about you, William, because I can see every one of those versions just absolutely working, because it's not about the scenario, it's about you in each of those and what you bring to it. Because as I watch the program and stuff, you know, you and your attitude is very infectious, and it makes people want to open up and to talk, and that is a gift, I will tell you, because it's a gift that most people don't have. And so whatever it is you do, I'm sure it will be, you know, quite successful. And you can count me in anytime. I would love to talk to you, you know, more and more, because there are so many aspects. I have a feeling, because you know I was married to a Brazilian, and so I think we could probably have endless amounts of conversations about Brazil. I lived there for a long time,
Oh my
and
God, really? Oh wow. Oh
Mhm.
my goodness. Would be another 2 hours, okay? Just because you said that,
Yeah,
you know, two
absolutely.
hours of talk.
Just my time in Brazil alone is probably like a lifetime of stories. It's just uh, definitely being the oddball out there. But
Thank
no,
you so much. Vic. Thanks for the kindest words, and you're gonna make me cry now saying those things. But
no,
thank
no.
you very much for being kind and sweet, you know, and sharing this, you know, this amazing, you know, kindness with me now, right now. Thanks so much, and I have no idea how it makes me happy knowing that you know, somehow we are living, you know, not just for us like having this moment right now, but people as well watch the interview and, you know, somehow taking some, you know, something with them as well, maybe a smile, maybe something very simple that's gonna make their day differently. So yeah, so
It's
it's
really what made me said yes to you, because um, you know, all of us have been through such a hard time these past couple of years. I've had like just the life altering events and stuff, and I am changed, but still at my core is, you know, I'm very optimistic and I'm very upbeat. And to discover that about yourself, that no matter what has been thrown on top of you, that you can still find that little bit of light down in there. I saw that in you as well, and it's challenging for me now and difficult to come and talk about myself and stuff, because you know, especially in context of these past few years. But I want people to see that you know, we can stop, you know, irritating each other and stop, you know, hating each other, and just, you know, maybe we don't agree about everything. Fine, put it to the side. Isn't that what matters in the end? Is that we're able to just smile and be there for each other. It's all that matters. It's the universal truth I've discovered in every country. I've been to 46 countries. I've lived in 14. And the thing I learned in each and every one of them is that at our core, we just want to be happy and be able to provide. And if you give people those opportunities, we're all very much alike.
I was about to ask for you to leave a positive message, but you just did now, and it's beautiful said.
Yeah, I mean,
Rick,
I always tell people that the world is huge and the world is small at the same time. And I tell people, just go anywhere that's not your comfort zone, and it will humble you. It will make you look at the world differently. You'll realize how big and awesome the planet is and how small and connected we really are. That's what you get out of like getting up and going and doing something. So
what an amazing message and interview now, finishing this 2022 and now starting a new year. Rick,
I
thank you so
know.
much. Thanks so much. Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year.
to your family, everyone around you. And I see
Thank
you
you.
sometime in Europe, you know, in Berlin
Yes.
or London. You keep in touch. We are connected now.
Come,
So now we are part of the same community in the Magic Box, okay?
come. You're always welcome in my home, William.
Enjoy your weekend. Enjoy your weekend coming soon. And Happy New Year again, okay? Thanks for the interview.
Happy New Year. Bye.
Take care. Bye-bye, Rick. So, did you like the show? Don't forget to give a like, to share it, and also don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And if you'd like to be part of the show as well, first, subscribe to our channel, and after that, just go to our website, www.williamandthemagicbox.com, and send us a request saying why you'd like to be part of the show. And I see you there. Bye-bye. See you next time.